8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're a go. Please welcome Josh Rubin, JobsOhio Board Chair.
Good morning. We've launched. Thanks to all of you for joining us here this morning for our JobsOhio first quarter board meeting in 2026. I want to pay a special thanks to SNC, the Sierra Nevada Corporation, for hosting us in this magnificent facility, part of SNC's most recent expansion. As we heard at the ribbon cutting ceremony here yesterday, we're excited that this is hopefully still in the beginning stages of what we hope is going to be a very long and prosperous relationship with more expansion and more jobs to come. Last night, we were so fortunate to be at the United States Air Force Museum and participate in a celebration honoring the 20th anniversary of the F-22 Raptor. The room was full of individuals who have dedicated their entire lives to protecting our nation and our way of life. And it really just gave me goosebumps to be around those people. And while we were there, we were also able to watch the real launch of Artemis 2 and their mission, traveling, I believe it was 17,000 miles per hour into orbit. By the way, I read this morning that when they return to Earth, they'll be traveling 25,000 miles per hour. And again, thinking about those heroes that risked their lives to explore how we can make our lives better today and in the future, just it gives me goosebumps. Always, but especially now, when so many of our troops are carrying out dangerous missions, we need to be grateful for their service. And I'm especially proud to be a part of an organization like JobsOhio that is doing all that we can to support our military and our veterans and their families. Governor DeWine, and JP said this yesterday, has made a commitment to make Ohio the most friendly state in the nation for our military and veterans and their families, and I think he's been successful doing that. And by the way, not only is this the right thing to do, it's also something we really need. Who better to fill the tremendous job opportunities in this state than those who have served and continue to serve our country? In today's meeting, you're going to hear more about all the great work that we're doing in advanced aerospace and the defense sector. But I really wanted to just start and kick off this meeting by saying thank you to all the military members and their families and to all who have served. Thank you very much. So with that, we will call our meeting to order. And the very first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our December 4th, 2025 meeting. Those minutes have been distributed to all our board members, and they've had a chance to review them. Are there any suggested edits or questions about the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Sure.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Thank you. Next, I'll turn it over to JP, our President and CEO.
Thank you, Chairman Rubin, members of the board, our JobsOhio colleagues and network partners, and the whole Team Ohio family. It's a pleasure to join you today, this impressive SNC hangar. Yesterday, we celebrated a ribbon cutting of the SNC's Aviation Innovation and Technology Center. And I want to thank also Governor DeWine and all the elected officials, stakeholders, our partners, and our advisors, General Lyles, General Mosley, General Schmidt, and Jenna Tempo, who joined us for that event. But a special thanks to Fadi and John and Mark and the whole team at SNC for what they do to support the mission of our military men and women and their mission to keep us all safe. It's heritage and legacy that happens right here in Ohio and in the Dayton area and at military communities all over the country, and we're very grateful to play a small part in helping to facilitate and catalyze that right here. Your investment in Ohio is paying off, and in just 4 years, you've gone from 0 to 4 major mission-critical hangars. And beyond that success, you're a part of a storied heritage of aviation, aerospace, and innovation combined with manufacturing, dating back to the Wright brothers. Yesterday, after the ribbon cutting, as you heard from our chairman, we visited the National Museum of the United States Air Force to mark the 20th anniversary of the F-22 Raptor reaching its initial operating capability. We were joined by Air Force and community leadership and partners in the JobsOhio network to celebrate the world's most advanced aviation and aerospace system, culminating with the event keynote from our advisor, the 18th Chief of Staff of the Air Force, Buzz Mosley. Ohio's role in the F-22, just as with this SNC ribbon cutting yesterday, represents what Ohio is capable of building across our state. Progress is not luck. It's a direct result of strategy and consistent execution here in the Dayton region and across every region of our state. Before looking forward, let's look where we started. In 2019 and 2020, we recognized the potential for a generational opportunity, the reindustrialization of America, reshoring, onshoring, and we organized ourselves to compete and for Ohio to win. From 2019 to 2025, JobsOhio, working with our many partners, completed more than 3,100 projects, nearly 60% increase over the prior period. Those projects resulted in the creation of 160,000 new direct jobs, while payroll grew 35% to over $9 billion, and capital investment doubled to over $99 billion, over a 115% increase over the prior period. This is clear evidence that Ohio has reemerged as an economic leader. And the 2025 results confirm that national leadership. Ranked number 5 in CNBC's top states for business, Ohio's highest ranking ever, and number 1 in the Midwest, up from number 15 just 7 years ago. Grateful for our state legislature and our Ohio governors for creating that business environment. Last year, Ohio accounted for 7.7% of all net new non-farm domestic job creation in America, while we only have 3.5% of the nation's population. We were number 3 nationally for total projects in Site Selection's Governor's Cup and number 1 for infrastructure 3 years in a row. Ohio achieved a AAA bond rating from all three major credit agencies, a first in Ohio history, shared by only 13 states in our country. And after decades of outmigration of our population, we recorded positive net domestic in-migration for the second consecutive year for the first time in decades. 2025 was a historic year for Ohio, and Ohio earned these results. And this success is happening in every region of our state. First, where we're sitting in Dayton, led by Jeff Hoagland and the Dayton Development Coalition, we're seeing the rapid growth of our advanced aviation and defense super sector. Since JobsOhio added military and federal as a target sector in 2020, focused efforts are building out an ecosystem where military and commercial aerospace can design it, build it, test it, and scale it. A big thanks to our sector lead, Kevin Chambers, for his leadership in these efforts. To see what strategic commitments look like when it delivers results, let's watch this short video.
There's so many good things happening in the state of Ohio.
The things that we're doing for aerospace, that's a huge competitive advantage.
Ohio is leading in so many ways.
We are, in fact, seizing the moment.
If you were to ask what makes Ohio special, I think it's an atmosphere of innovation.
So many famous aviators and pioneers came from Ohio. Neil Armstrong, John Glenn, the Tuskegee Airmen.
This is a moment where preparation has met opportunity.
This is the past, present, and future of aerospace.
Wright Pat is the economic engine of the Dayton community and a big portion of Ohio.
There was a base realignment and closure. Wright-Patterson lost a pretty significant test mission. The community rallied. They built strategies not only to defend and be a receiver site. We made sure that the initiative was sustainable
That's where the dominoes really started to fall into place. Now we're seeing companies moving into Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati because of its proximity to Wright-Patt.
Wright-Patt continues to grow, continues to really be the brains of the Air Force, and I think that makes a big, big difference for so many of these companies.
I can see it in your faces today how dedicated this Ohio team is. This is our first step, first of the several hangars. We have big vision. We are going to create 1,000+ jobs here, and it's going to keep growing.
SNC had the opportunity to be the first military aircraft company to come in to bend metal since 1948, in the birthplace of aviation.
Sierra Nevada was the first in. Our role in that was applying the tools like the Ohio Site Inventory Program, and the development of that site, I think, was one of the key points.
I needed a runway that was capable of handling a C-5 aircraft. So you're talking about weight, you're talking about length of the runway.
That ramp tarmac area had not been maintained for almost 2 decades. We were able to use the OSIP program to help that project advance where they put up the 4 hangars.
Ohio is one of the top investors in infrastructure, and that offsets cost for the company. It gives them reason to locate here.
We had a site ready for them that they didn't have to take time to develop themselves.
We're working with companies in any sector. It's, do you have the workforce? Do you have the talent?
80 to 85% of the talent that they need already is here.
Those incentives, that relationship, that partnership was critical. We ended up looking at 10 different locations in 7 states. But at the end of the day, my gut feeling of why Ohio would be really good turned out factually to be the best location out of those 10 different sites.
Our experience is speaking for itself with all the new contracts and programs that we win. SNC is going to build off this partnership. We're going to continue to expand and provide more capabilities.
Now the other defense tech industry partners are coming in.
We have brought companies into the state of Ohio. All the high-profile ones would not have happened but for JobsOhio.
We wanted a place that had a lot of talent. Ohio has a lot of deeply technical talent. It also has a lot of aviation and aerospace talent. Both of those are pools that are very important for Anduril.
When we launched the effort to select our location for Arsenal 1, we had a few critical factors. On all fronts, Ohio came out ahead, and we're excited to be here.
The people in Ohio have been absolutely spectacular to work with. They've been proactive, they've unblocked things, they've made sure that we've had all the permits, all the things we need, very frictionless.
We couldn't ask for a more incredible spot to build these incredible aircraft and this next generation of aviation.
Well, it's really the only place in America that has the confluence of all the things that are important for a successful business in this industry.
This is an incredible time for Ohio. This is the place to be.
I'm excited about what the future holds.
Our state has proven time and time again that we will lead the next wave of innovation. Ohio is the heart of all in aerospace.
Ohio is also emerging as a national leader. That's a great video, Jared, another great one. Ohio is also emerging as a national leader in energy. An energy strategy supported by strong partnerships and led by JobsOhio's Dana Saucier and Matt Sobolski is delivering results across the state. House Bill 15 passed last year, streamlined permitting, reduced taxes on new generation equipment, and expanded behind-the-meter generation. And in October, Governor DeWine announced the JobsOhio Energy Opportunity Initiative, a $100 million commitment over 5 years to expand access to natural gas, nuclear energy, and a specialized workforce for industrial users. We're seeing major impact in Southeast Ohio. Led by Matt Abbott and the Ohio Southeast team, Centrus has expanded in Piketon, adding 300 jobs and making Southeast Ohio the only U.S. location enriching uranium with American technology. And the Oklo Meta Agreement positions the region at the forefront of the next generation of nuclear energy. And this week, Vertiv announced it will expand its advanced manufacturing facility in Ironton, creating more than 500 new jobs, the largest job creation project in Ohio Southeast since JobsOhio was established in 2011. This will benefit not only Lawrence County, but all of the surrounding counties too, bringing in even more jobs to Appalachia. In addition, the Trump administration and Japan SoftBank and AEP Ohio recently announced the nation's largest AI energy generation project, including $33 billion for over 9 gigawatts of new natural gas power and up to $500 billion of investment for the port's technology campus. As described, this project would create 2,000 jobs direct and 10,000 construction jobs and tens of thousands of indirect jobs. Southeast Ohio has answered the call before. These communities are ready to lead in energy and AI. In Northwest Ohio, led by Dean Monsky and the Regional Growth Partnership team, First Quality Tissue is adding another $300 million investment and 400 additional jobs in Fulton County to its 2025 $984 million investment in Defiance County. And Stellantis is investing $400 million in Toledo to support 900 new jobs. In the Cincinnati region, led by Kim Lauterbach and her team at Ready Cincinnati, Great Day Improvements will add nearly 1,000 jobs statewide. Cencor is opening up a second national distribution center in Harrison, and Oats Overnight continues to expand, led by JobsOhio's Food and Ag Managing Director, Tim Derrickson. In the Mahoning Valley, led by Danny Robbins and the team at Lake to River, Kimberly Clark is investing $800 million in Warren to create nearly 500 jobs. And Valorec Star's expansion in Youngstown adds to a growing $1.5 billion partnership in the Mahoning Valley. In Northeast Ohio, led by Matt Dolan and the Team Neo team, Aer Lingus expanded its service at Cleveland Hopkins. Canon Healthcare USA is investing $30 million more in the Cleveland Innovation District, and the Cleveland Clinic and Sherwin-Williams continue to drive a dynamic regional economy. Of note, in 2025, Northeast Ohio led the state in small business projects, creating vibrancy and diversity economy in Northeast Ohio. In Central Ohio, I want to welcome Jonas Peterson, who begins next week as the President and Chief Economic Development Officer at One Columbus. I also want to thank Jason Hall for his leadership at the Columbus Partnership and Matt McAllister for his outstanding service. During Matt's tenure as interim CEO, Central Ohio attracted major projects, including Amgen's $900 million expansion and Hims & Hers' new 400-job facility. I also want to thank our Managing Director, Tyler Altshin, for his work bringing these projects to life. Every region of Ohio has assets to compete, and every region is gaining momentum. We will not take our foot off the gas pedal. We must also turn our focus to ensuring that all these new and expanding employers have access to the workforce and the talent they need to compete. The growth we're experiencing is creating real pressure on our talent pipeline. By the mid-2030s, Ohio will need at least 540,000 additional engineers, technicians, AI experts, and operators. Our talent strategy is straightforward: attract, retain, and develop. We're attracting talent currently through several venues: JobsOhio Relocation Incentive, FindYourOhio.com, and the Ohio Discovery Corridor. And we're retaining talent through talent acquisition services. And we're developing talent through both partnerships and JobsOhio strategies. The JobsOhio Workforce Grant, the Ohio Life Sciences Training Center of Excellence, the Biomanufacturing Workforce Initiative, and AI training and certification programs. Lieutenant Governor Tressel's Work Ohio initiative is strengthening these efforts. We're also reaching out to new audiences, including those who have been out of the workforce and veterans, to accomplish these objectives. Chairman Rubin, this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, JP. A lot of really good stuff going on around the state. We will now move to our committee reports, and we will start with our Audit Committee report and our Chair of the Audit Committee, Lori Gillette. Lori?
Thank you, Chairman Rubin. The Audit Committee of the JobsOhio Board of Directors met twice this quarter. Minutes of previous meetings were reviewed and approved, and an executive session with only board members present was held during each meeting. During the March meeting, the committee received an overview of the results of the renewal of the corporation's overall insurance program, completed on February 1st, 2026. The committee also received the report on compliance and enterprise risk activities from Managing Director for Enterprise Risk, Claudia Harrington. Ms. Harrington summarized her detailed reports, and committee members discussed the contents in detail. Members of the JobsOhio accounting team provided detailed financial information to the committee for both the previous quarter and the fiscal year to date, as well as detailed budget to actual reviews of expenditures and revenues for the same periods. The committee also reviewed and discussed with management the process for the operating budget for fiscal year 2027, beginning July 1st, 2026. And with that summary, Chair Rubin, I conclude my report.
Thank you, Lori. Any questions for Lori? Okay. Pinch hitting for John Bishop in the Investment Committee report will be JP.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee met twice this quarter, with minutes of the previous meeting being reviewed and approved. This quarter, the committee reviewed and approved or recommended nearly $16.6 million in incentives for 8 core economic development projects. Companies involved would commit to create or retain at least 1,930 total jobs with associated payroll of $158 million, and will make capital investments of almost $500 million in Ohio. In each meeting, the committee received updates on several recent economic development opportunities, as well as the quarterly reports from the corporation's investment portfolio advisors. With this summary, I hereby conclude my report of the Investment Committee. Do you have any questions?
Thanks, JP. Any questions for JP? Hearing none. Thanks, JP. Rick, you want to give us a Compensation Workforce Committee report?
Happy to. Our committee met in February. At that meeting, we reviewed our plan of work for the year, heard from our Newport Group, our independent compensation consultant, about national compensation trends. We heard from our VP of Human Resources, Sheila Akins, who provided an update on the status of our executive and staff performance reviews. And the committee reviewed the results of the CEO's annual performance review and compensation recommendations. That's my report.
Thank you, Rick. Any questions for Rick? Okay, thank you. Any old or new business any of the committee members would like to discuss? Board members? We're moving right along. This is great. Well, we've spent the last few days here in the region, and we've had, I think, a very productive few days. And again, want to thank everybody for being a part of it. And we're going to go around the horn here, and we'll give everybody a chance to reflect on what we talked about and what we're seeing. Rick, we're going to start with you.
Okay. I'm going to echo Governor DeWine quoted a person who's great to quote, Woody Hayes, you win with people. All the great updates we've had today, hearing about what's happening here at CNC, the reshoring of manufacturing, it's clear that it's a big part of our mission to concern ourselves with talent and people. And of all the things we heard in these last few days here in Dayton, one that really stood out for me is the net migration, that our population, our working age population, saw a net migration growth in 77 of 88 Ohio counties. That really stands out. We are going to win with people.
Thank you, Rick. Lori?
Thank you. I just want to point out, and you heard some of this from JP in his update as a reference, but there have been a lot of recent announcements recently that have highlighted Ohio's energy advantages. There's no doubt that it brings clarity to the fact that we have abundant and affordable natural resources, less regulation, strategic location, and robust utility infrastructure in Ohio. This all comes on the heels of the announcement that you heard of Centrus, their multi-billion-dollar investment that was made in September 2025. Then we have JobsOhio's $100 million Energy Opportunity Initiative in October of 2025. In January, we had Meta, Oklo, Vistra partnered on one of the largest nuclear energy deals in U.S. history. Then a few weeks ago, SoftBank announced plans for a massive AI data center project in southern Ohio, potentially investing $500 billion with a B. into a single campus at the former uranium enrichment site. These announcements, in my opinion, and hopefully everyone around the table, they completely reaffirm Ohio's role. We're a powerhouse in energy production. It demonstrates the huge confidence that the marketplace has in investing in Ohio and the critical role that Ohio is going to continue to play in meeting America's growing energy needs. Ohio has the potential to be a global leader when it comes to energy generation and development. And these wins show that the strategy that we have in Ohio and that we're behind is working. So I just look forward to continuing to see all of those go into effect. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Lori. Dr. Thornton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I enjoy coming to these board meetings because I learned so much about what's new with JobsOhio, and even though we get updates and reports from JP, it just makes it real to see the projects that are taking place. As an educator, I am very focused on talent and jobs and getting people to work and keeping people at work. But you have to have projects in order to do that. And so with this board meeting, I had an opportunity to learn about a lot of new projects that I thought really were important to putting people to work and keeping people working. JobsOhio continues to focus on projects and programs that create growth across Ohio. So it's not just limited to particular regions, but throughout the state of Ohio, we have projects that are vital and viable and put people to work. Recent Ohio site inventory program announcements include the new Butler Tech Aviation Center. I was very excited to learn more about that because that involves aviation training, building capacity in the aviation maintenance, flight, and aerospace engineering. And I just thought that that spec building at $6.1 million really creates an opportunity to bring more to the Dan Evans Industrial Park, which is really well suited for manufacturing, warehousing, and light industrial projects in the Gallia County and Alcar air commerce area. Listening to the vibrancy of these projects, I think, lets us know that jobs are going to be real and that retaining jobs in Ohio, the talent is here. We're going to have to continue to grow talent through our colleges and universities and our centers. But if the jobs are there, we'll find people to work.
Thank you, Jerry Sue. Lillian?
Good morning. I'd like to share a little bit about the importance and the great progress in the industry sector of the life sciences. Over the past 5 years, JobsOhio has supported more than 70 life sciences companies investing in the state for the first time or expanding here in the state. This has resulted in more than 11,000 new jobs with average salaries more than $79,000. Amgen, which you've heard about, Ohio's largest biotech manufacturer, will start installing production equipment this month in their second packaging plant set to open in May of 2027. This combined investment of $1.4 billion is bringing 750 jobs to Central Ohio. Companies like Amgen will benefit from the planned state-of-the-art Ohio Life Sciences Training Center. Speaking to what you said, people are our strength, and training the people of the future is absolutely critical. This was announced in September of 2025 and seeded with a $30 million investment from JobsOhio. And last month, the new Albany International Business Park was announced as the location of this training facility, which will prepare Ohio's for on-demand operator roles in biopharma manufacture and ensure that graduates are ready for the workforce day one. This really punctuates the need for both workforce in general, but especially in the life sciences. Thank you.
Thanks, Lillian. Tom?
Thank you. Ohio was again recognized as a national leader in economic development by receiving a top spot in the annual Governor's Cup rankings by Site Selection magazine. Ohio was ranked number 3 nationally for economic development projects. The 4th year in a row, the state has held this top ranking. Ohio was also ranked best in the nation for its micropolitans, cities with populations under 50,000, in attracting new businesses and investments. 8 were in the top 20 nationally, those being Findlay, Worcester, Fremont, Tiffin, Greenville, Defiance, Norwalk, and Sydney. And one thing we need to highlight more often, I think, is our construction jobs. JobsOhio projects each year support 47,000 construction jobs, representing $3.2 billion in payroll. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks for bringing that up. JP?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 7 years ago, we identified a generational opportunity. And since then, in close partnership with the DeWine administration and our regional partners, Ohio has completed over 3,000 projects, attracted nearly $100 billion of capital investment, improved from 15 to 5 in the National Business Climate Ranking, and now we're seeing sustained net in-migration for the first time in decades. The conversation about Ohio has changed because the reality has changed. Companies are now seeking and choosing to locate here. Families are choosing Ohio to live their own version of the American dream. And the projects we're running today will define our economy for the next 30 years. Our work isn't finished. If capital and projects were a primary challenge to create jobs 5 years ago, we can add workforce and talent to fill those jobs to the list now. I want to thank Governor DeWine and his administration for their partnership, the JobsOhio Board for their volunteer service and leadership, the outstanding professionals at JobsOhio and the JobsOhio Network for their performance bringing this all to life, and for their commitment to making every region win a statewide win. Thank you.
Thanks, JP. So in closing, I also want to thank our board. Every time we get together for these board meetings, I leave with some new knowledge, which is always great, but also, more importantly, I think inspired. You all have your daily lives that you live and your jobs and the things that you do, and this is volunteer work, and we come together and we work through a lot of issues, and you do it not for yourselves, but you do it for the people of Ohio, and really appreciate that. I also want to again, thank our regional partners. It's great to be here in Dayton, and there's some phenomenal things happening in this region here, but they're happening all over the state, and that's in large part due to all the work. I love hearing about all the great things that are happening in Southeast Ohio. Our Vibrant Community program is just going gangbusters, and the fact that we have all these small business wins in Northeast Ohio is a tremendous thing. And that's going to continue to pay dividends down the road. So we still have a lot of work to do, obviously, but I think we're making really good progress and very, very optimistic about the future. So thank you all for your participation. With that, I would like to wish everybody a happy Passover, a very happy Easter coming up. Be safe, and thank you for your time and for all you're doing for the state of Ohio. And we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.